So hopefully you're watching this video before graduating high school, and if you're even younger, consider yourself even luckier. I cannot stress this enough, but if you're 18 right now, these next 3 to 7 years are some of the most important years of your life. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna try and help you, through some things and tell you some things that I wish I knew when I was 18. So if I was 18 again, what would I do? The first and probably most important thing I do is save money. I got my first job out of school at 18 and I started buying all these shoes and all these games and this and that, and I essentially wasted a lot of money when I was younger. Stay out of debt, specifically credit card debt. If you're 18, you might get a pre-approved credit card in the mail because you're now 18. The legal age may vary, wherever you're from, but I got mine at 18 with that hefty 19.9% interest rate. Speaking of interest rates, learn the power of compound interest. There are 7 wonders of the world, and it's widely known that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Learn how important it is to start investing at age 20 versus say age 25. All right, so real quick, I'm editing the video right now as you can see, but I just wanted to show you the power of compound interest in this little section of the video. So let me show you real quick. All right, so as you can see, here we are. You could go on any, compound interest calculator. Pretty sure there's no difference, Canadian, US, Europe, wherever you are, it's all the same. So here we go. So initial investment, say we put in nothing, right? Your regular edition, say you put $500 a month, sure, right? People can handle that. Some people do 1,000, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you make, just put whatever you can, right? Your interest rate, the market is gonna give you 7 to 8% a year. There we go. So if you're 20 right now, or say you're 18, right? Because you're watching this video. If you start investing when you're 20, so from age 20 to age 65, is 45 years, right? So here we go. So we're putting $500 a month, 8% yearly for 45 years. And as you can see, the total value of your investment when you reach age 65 is $2.4 million, and you gained $2.1 million with interest. So as you can see, by the time you get to year 25, year 30 is when it really starts taking off and growing exponentially. In comparison, let's say you did $500 a month, 8% interest yearly, but you did it from age 25 to age 65. So now you're giving it 40 years, right? So you're losing 5 years of compound interest. It was $2.4 million before. Now it's only $1.6 million. So as you can see, you're losing almost $1 million. You're losing $800,000 by waiting 5 years and starting at age 25. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. You can live your life however you want, but when you're thinking about buying that BMW, and when you're 20 after you get a job, or when you're 22 after you get a job or whatever, just think about that interest calculator. That's basically all I want to say for this section of the video. But so let's go back to the regular video right now. Don't waste time unnecessarily. Now, I'm not saying that you should never not be working and you have to be working 18 hours a day like Elon Musk, but just don't waste your time, right? Just remember that every second you spend scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever book is time you're not getting back, right? Those are seconds that are ticking away that you will never get back, no matter how much money you make in your life. Remember that. With that being said, it's still good to live. I'm not saying don't go to parties or don't go on vacation, because some people have told me that they regret not going to parties when they were in school, or they regret not going on vacation. Because the thing about those is that there are opportunities that, once again, you're not going to get back. So this is a very important one. And that's, if you don't know what you want to do, that's okay. I'm going to say it again. If you don't know what you want to do, that is okay. Just because Robert from your class knows he wants to be an astrophysicist and Jenny knows she wants to be a lawyer, doesn't mean that you have to know what you want to do also. We all know somebody that went to post-secondary and they got pressured into going into post-secondary, and now they have student loan debt and a degree in something they don't even like, and now they're regretting going into the major that they did. Maybe Robert knew he wanted to be an astrophysicist so bad, and now that he graduated, he doesn't even want to be one anymore. Maybe now he wants to be a paramedic. But what Robert's mistake was is that he went to school at 18 to do something that he liked at the time, but now he changed his mind. If he would have waited a couple years instead of going to post-secondary right away, then he probably would have had a smaller amount of student loans and he would have found his real passion. But then the argument to that is, well, people are always changing their minds, so by that definition, college is a waste of time because 5 years later you might like something else. And I'm here to tell you that that statement is very true. That's one of the reasons why I didn't go to college. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to take on the student loan debt. And if you don't want to go to post-secondary at all, that's fine. Like, society is going to tell you that you have to go to school and you have to take the debt, otherwise your life is going to be terrible and it's going to be hard. And while college might give you opportunities that you might not have otherwise had, it's perfectly fine to not go. Just because you see your friends going doesn't mean that you have to also. Just know what you want to accomplish, and if college is one of those things, then that's okay. But don't get peer pressured into going if you don't want to. And remember, you can always go back later. Like, there are people that are like 30 that are in college. It's not just something for 18-year-olds. Anybody can go at any time they want. See, like, that's one thing that I always found stupid, is that we're asking 18-year-olds to make decisions about what they're gonna do for the next 40 years of their lives when they're 18. Most 18-year-olds can't even decide what they want to eat from McDonald's, never mind making life choices when there's thousands of dollars involved. Piggybacking off that last point about peer pressure, don't get peer pressured into buying things that you don't need to show off to people just because you were able to buy it, right? Just because Jenny is buying a house at 22 because her parents helped her with her down payment doesn't mean that you also need to buy a house at 22. And on the other end of the spectrum, don't buy the iPhone 12 or 13 or whatever year you're watching this just to show off to Robert that you can buy it. Like, if you want the phone for you, buy it for you. Don't buy it to shove it in the face of Robert. Think back to that interest calculator from earlier on in the video. See, the thing about being 18 is that you don't necessarily have any commitments. Like, now is the time for you to go backpacking across Europe for 2 months. Now is the time to go high risk and start up a Twitch stream. Now is the time to go and try and create that business that you always wanted to create. Like, it's so much better and more efficient to do it when you're young, because when you're old, you have to worry about your daughter's ballet practice or your son's karate tournament. And then on top of that, you have a job and you have a mortgage and all the shit that adults have. Like, there's no better time to be high risk than right out of school and in your early 20s. One thing that you should know about graduating high school is that it really doesn't matter. Now, it's not high school that doesn't matter, but everything that you did that wasn't related academically means nothing. Who you associated yourself with means nothing. Who wore the nicest clothes means nothing. Who had the best phone means nothing. Who was on what team means nothing. Who was the best looking means nothing. None of that is gonna mean shit. Now you might be saying, well, yeah, it does, but trust me, in 2 years, someone having the most recent shoes isn't gonna mean anything. I mean, really and truly, it doesn't mean anything inside or outside of school. If I went and got the iPhone 12 right now, it won't mean anything to anyone in 2 years. Actually, never mind 2 years. It won't mean anything to anyone in 2 weeks, except the person that spent $1,500 on the phone in this case, which was me. So if you think the beginning of the video, like, you're not gonna take any of that advice, just take this one piece of advice. You're 18. You're literally a kid. You have your whole life ahead of you, and you can live your whole life over again like 3 times and still be alive. Let life come to you and realize that at the end of the day, we're all gonna turn into fertilizer anyway. So you might as well live the life that you wanna live instead of the one that your mom wanted you to live, or the one that you wanted to only to show off to your friends about how big your house is. You get to live life one time. Make this one time count. Like, I'd give everything that I have to go back 7 years, but as they say, hindsight is always 2020. Just do your best and live your life without any regrets, because minus credit card debt, that's the worst kind of debt to have. And as always, thanks for watching.